Today we will going to deal about the next part of our topic, that is nothing but linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure. Okay, in the before lecture we already saw what is the meaning of linear adsorption isotherm and derivation regarding the linear adsorption isotherm. Now the next part of our topic, that is nothing but linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure. Linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure. Okay, means what? When you increase the pressure means at higher pressure, when you decrease the pressure means at lower pressure, and in between that is an intermediate pressure. What are the variations regarding that particular equation? We will going to deal. That is linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure. Now the next part, first we will going to deal at low pressure. Linear adsorption isotherm at low pressure. So we have already know that the equation of linear adsorption isotherm, that is nothing but which equation? X upon m is equal to AP upon BP plus 1. Okay, this is the equation of what? Linear adsorption isotherm. This is particular equation. X upon m is nothing but at different adsorption coefficient. Means amount of adsorption takes place on adsorbent. A and B are the constants. We already know that. We already learned. P is nothing but pressure. Okay, this is our equation. Now let's see what will happen at particular low pressure. At low pressure, the term BP can be neglected. Okay, the term BP. See here, what we supposed to do? At low pressure, the term BP can be neglected as compared to 1. The term BP can be neglected as compared to what? 1. Means here in the denominator BP plus 1 is there. At low pressure, what we are supposed to do? At low pressure, the term BP which will be there, it can be neglected as compared to what? 1. And when you neglect this particular BP, what the equation we will get over there? X upon m is equal to AP. If AP upon 1 is there, then 1 can be negligence. So, X upon m is equal to AP. So, X upon m is inversely proportional to what? AP. Okay, at low pressure. So, what the conclusion we can give over here? At low pressure, amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent. Here, what the conclusion? At low pressure, amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent, amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is directly proportional to pressure. Okay, so what we are going to link here? Linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure. In that first part, at low pressure, what is the equation for linear adsorption isotherm? X upon m is equal to AP upon BP plus 1. Then at low pressure, the term BP can be neglected as compared to the 1. So here what will happen? X upon m is equal to AP. So X upon m is directly proportional to the AP. So what the conclusion for this? At low pressure, the amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is directly proportional to what? Pressure. This is about what? low pressure. Now let's we see next part, that is at high pressure. At high pressure. First one is at low pressure. So at high pressure, again the same thing. What will the equation for a linear adsorption isotherm? X upon M is equal to AP upon Vp plus 1. Okay. So at high pressure, the term 1, at high pressure, the term 1 can be neglected as compared to Vp. Okay. So what we have saw at high pressure, X upon M is equal to AP upon Vp plus 1. At high pressure, the term 1 can be neglected as compared to the Vp. So what will be the next part? X upon M is equal to AP upon Vp. X upon M is equal to AP upon Vp. So we can also tell X upon M is directly proportional to A upon B. So what will be the conclusion for at high pressure? At high pressure, amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is constant. This shows that at high pressure, the entire surface area of adsorbent is covered by gas molecules. So at high pressure, the amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is constant. And what will happen? The complete surface area of the adsorbent is covered by the gas molecule. So no further adsorption will going to take place at high pressure, isn't it? So this is for the high pressure. At low pressure, what we have saw, amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is directly proportional to the pressure, means at low pressure. But here at high pressure, the amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is constant. And here what will happen? There is any bare surface area or unoccupied surface area is present for the further adsorption. This is about the high pressure. Now let's see the next part, that is what about the intermediate pressure. So what about the intermediate? So see the next part, linear adsorption isotherm at different pressure, that is in the intermediate pressure. As we already saw, at low pressure X upon M is directly proportional to AP, means the amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent. It is a sign of directly proportional to. Okay, consider this is our equation number 6. Okay, next at high pressure, X upon M is equal to A upon B, that is amount of gas adsorbed per gram of adsorbent is always constant. There is no bare surface area present over there, means complete adsorptions will going to take place at high pressure. So what we have to see here means at low pressure, when the pressure is going to increase over here, the particular adsorption pass from low to the high case, means the power of P which will be there, when it goes on decreases from 0 to 1 itself. So here power P which will be there, this may be or it must be in case of fraction. So X upon M is equal to A upon B into P raised to 1 upon N, N number of adsorbent molecules. X upon M, P is equal to P raised to 1 upon N, where it is a constant. So X upon M is equal to K into P raised to 1 upon M. This is our equation. Consider this is our equation number 8. Okay, this is equation number 8. This is our equation number 7. And this particular equation number 8, where this 1 upon N which will be there, must and should be greater than 0, and 1 upon N must and should be greater than 1. Means what? The power P which will be there, it must and should be always intermediate in between the 0 to 1. So we have gave over here this particular sign itself. So based on this equation number 8, X upon M is equal to Kp raised to 1 upon N. That is, here equation 8 indicates that Friendly adsorption isotherm is similar is to the linear adsorption isotherm. Means the equation behaves as a friendly adsorption isotherm at only intermediate pressure. Means intermediate pressure is very much of required to develop an friendly adsorption isotherm based on linear adsorption isotherm itself. Okay, this is about the intermediate pressure. So at different pressure, first we saw about the low pressure, next we saw about the high pressure, and after that we saw the intermediate pressure. And what's the conclusion here? Power P which will be there, that is x upon m is equal to Kp raised to 1 upon n. This equation is relates to the friendly adsorption isotherm based on linear adsorption isotherm. When linear adsorption isotherm behaves at an intermediate pressure, we will develop over that friendly adsorption isotherm. This shows that equation number 8. Now next part, let's see that is verification of linear adsorption isotherm. Let's see the next part, verification of linear adsorption isotherm. For that, linear adsorption isotherm is given by linear adsorption isotherm is given by equation, which equation? X upon m is equal to AP upon BP plus 1. Okay, so rewriting or inversing above equation, what we will get? Just to see, we have to inverse this particular equation or we have to rewrite this particular equation. 1 upon x upon m is equal to what? BP plus 1 divided by AP. Just correlating two terms we will get. See the third equation, what we will get now? P upon x upon m is equal to BP plus 1 divided by A. Okay, now next part, what we will get over there, just to see, P upon x upon m, we have to take P as a common. What we will get, I'll write here itself, P upon x upon m, simply I'll write like this differently. See, P upon x upon m is equal to B upon A into T plus 1 upon A. Okay, 1 upon A. The equation 9 is another form of linear adsorption isotherm, and it is the equation of straight line. This equation 9 which will be there, it is another form of linear adsorption isotherm, and this is the equation of straight line. Why we are supposed to see this is an equation of straight line? Y is equal to mx plus c, we are having already the equation. Here in this case, the slope which is there, that is b upon a, we are having over there. The equation it is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. And this our x is there, p which is already is there, that is this particular b upon a, plus c is there, that is nothing but our 1 upon a, which is log of a. I'll write over here, just see, you can understand. This is our c, this is our x, okay, and m which is there present over here, and this is our pressure as it is, y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, this is the equation of, in the form of equation of straight line. What we are dealing over here, verification of linear adsorption isotherm. We are having linear adsorption isotherm is given by the equation x upon m. is equal to AP upon BP plus 1, isn't it? So inversing or rewriting the above equation, we will get 1 upon x upon m is equal to BP plus 1 upon the AP itself. So P x upon m BP plus 1 divided by A itself. So this particular equation we have to get in the form of straight line. P upon x upon m is equal to B upon A into P plus 1 upon A. This is our equation number 9. It is another form of linear adsorption isotherm equation itself, and this particular equation is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, isn't it? And this the graph which can be verified the equation of straight line y is equal to mx plus c itself. Okay, this is about the linear adsorption verification. Now the next part, success of linear adsorption theory. Let's see. So the next part of our topic, successes of linear adsorption theory. So in case of successes of linear adsorption theory, let's remove, that is nothing but which are the approaches given by the linear. The mechanism of adsorption, okay, the mechanism of adsorption presented by linear, the mechanism of adsorption presented by linear, the mechanism of adsorption presented by linear is of chemical adsorption, is of explain linear explain chemical adsorption. The mechanism of adsorption presented by Langmuir, which explains the chemical adsorption, means how the adsorption takes place by chemical reactions, can be explained by the Langmuir itself. Now the second part, when you compare this Langmuir adsorption isotherm with Freundlich adsorption isotherm, what we have to get? The Langmuir theory is more satisfactory than the Freundlich equation while explaining the physical adsorption of gases. What? When you comparing this theory with Freundlich adsorption isotherm, Langmuir more satisfactorily explains the adsorption of gases on different adsorbent of physical adsorption. Okay, so what is the successes of Langmuir adsorption theory? The mechanism of adsorption presented by Langmuir, which explains the chemical adsorption. And when you compare this particular theory along with the Freundlich adsorption isotherm, the Langmuir can be easily explained or more satisfactorily explain the adsorption of gases on different adsorbents. That is, physical adsorption can more easily explained by the Langmuir itself. This is about the successes of Langmuir adsorption theory itself. Let's see the next part, limitations of Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Okay, the Langmuir theory satisfactorily explains the physical adsorption as well as chemical adsorption when saturation point is reached. But it has certain limitations. It is already explained that physical adsorption and chemical adsorption can be going to take place very satisfactorily when saturation point is reached. But which limitations it has? Let's see. The first limitation is there, that is nothing but Langmuir shows that or suggested that a saturated value of adsorption is independent of temperature. Saturated value of adsorption, saturated value of adsorption is independent of saturated value of adsorption is independent on temperature. He told what? He told the first reason, that is when saturation point is reached, the saturated value of adsorption which is there, it is independent on temperature. But practically when you saw, when you increase the temperature, this particular sentence which will be there, it is not valid at all. But experiments shows that it falls with the rise of temperature. But experiments shows that it rise, shows that it falls with increasing the temperature or when you raise the temperature itself. Okay, Langmuir theory satisfactorily explains the saturated value of adsorption. It is independent of temperature. Means he said when you increase the temperature, when you decrease the temperature, there is no effect at all. But when you perform the experiment, it shows that this particular sentence is false with you when you increase the particular temperature itself. Okay, this is about the first point. Now, second point, what he told, that is nothing but he assumed that the adsorption film on the plane surface, he assumed that the adsorption film on the plane surface, adsorption film on the plane surface will never be over a molecule. Film on plane surface will never be on molecule. We assume that the adsorption film on the plane surface will never be on molecule. Okay, will never be on molecule in thickness. Molecule in thickness. But when you saw this particular experimentally, the opposite thing was happened. The opposite thing was reported. The adsorption film on the plane surface will never be on the molecule. But when you saw the practically, they saw the thin film present on the molecules, which has going to be adsorbed over there. This is the second point. He failed that. Now the third point which will be there, whatever the postulates or whatever the thing has explained, the 5 types of isotherm which are there, it cannot be applied on that 5 types of isotherm. The third limitation is nothing but the theory cannot explain all 5 types of adsorption isotherm. The theory cannot explain all 5 types of adsorption isotherm. Cannot explain all 5 types of adsorption isotherm. Okay. This is about the limitations. These 3 major limitations which are having given by the Langmuir itself. Langmuir equation is very often fails to explain the adsorption at very high pressure. The failure believed to due to the building up of multimolecular layer on intermolecular forces. And again this theory fails to explain at high pressure what will happen about the adsorption. There may be the formation of multimolecular layer of adsorption. Okay, but he is not ready to accept that at when you increase the pressure, whether the unimolecular layer of adsorption is formed or multimolecular layer of adsorption is going to form. At intermediate pressure, what are the things going on, he is not ready to explain it. Then limitations, in the limitations part we already saw What Langmuir explained already, when saturation point is reached, physical adsorption, chemical adsorption is going to take place satisfactorily. But he fails to explain that saturated value of adsorption is independent on temperature. But experiment shows that it fails saturated value when you increase the temperature. Next, the adsorption film may be present on the molecule, but he told what? Adsorption film on the plane surface will never be on the molecule. But experiment explains that it is present on the molecule, maybe when multilayer is going to form. Then the theory cannot explain all 5 types of isotherm itself. Then fourth part, when you increase the pressure, there may be the formation of multimolecular layer is going to form instead of the only unimolecular layer will be going to form. This is about the limitations of Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Let's we see the next part of our topic, that is nothing but BET equation, theory of multi-layer adsorption. So this particular theory have already get generated, we already saw in the type 2 and type 3 graphs or type 2 and type 3 isotherms. We have already mainly saw the 5 types of isotherm, and in that type 2 isotherm which is there, here transition point is reached. What will happen? First monomolecular layer is going to form on the adsorbent. This is our monomolecular layer is going to form, and when monomolecular layer is going to complete over there, that they have reached one of the point, that is we call it as an B point, our transition point we have reached, and after reaching the transition point, complete surface area is covered by monomolecular layer. The starting of formation of multimolecular layer is going to form over there. This is we call it as a type 2 isotherm. What the type 2 isotherm? When monomolecular layer is completed, the surface area entirely covered by monomolecular layer, the formation of multimolecular layers to begin over there. From this particular point B, we call it as a transition point. This is of isotherm of type 2. Now what's the next isotherm? Isotherm of type 3. What the isotherm of type 3 shows or tells me is, before the reaching end point of monomolecular layer formation, starting of formation of multimolecular layer on the adsorbent itself. Means what? There is a covering of multimolecular layer directly over there before the formation of monomolecular layer. This is of type 3 isotherm over here. And by keeping in this mind, the 3 scientists, Brunner, Immert and Taylor, that is BET, in the year 1938, multimolecular layer of adsorption on the catalytic surface have been generated, and that particular equation they are having the mainly postulates generated over there. Derivation from the Langmuir adsorption model, the amount of gas adsorbed when you increase the pressure, what will happen? They have given by these 3 scientists, and they are mainly having 6 to 7 postulates which are exact opposite of Langmuir adsorption isotherm itself. Okay, because we are seeing here what the type 2 isotherm and type 3 form isotherm, which is very much important, the formation of multimolecular layer instead of only the monomolecular layer of adsorption over here. Okay, let's we see what this particular BET equation indicates over here. Postulates of BET equation. Let's we see the next part, that is postulates of BET equation. The Langmuir treatment is applicable to Langmuir treatment. The Langmuir treatment BET equation, the postulates of BET equation. The Langmuir treatment is applicable to unimolecular layer, but adsorption may involve the multimolecular layer. Langmuir treatment may applicable for unimolecular layer, but adsorption involve multimolecular layer. Okay, multimolecular layer of adsorption may involve over there. Now the second postulate is nothing but when the first layer is reached, the force which is present in between the adsorption, that is molecules, and the adsorbent, van der Waals forces. Okay. So what is the second postulate of BET equation? The gas molecules adsorbed in the first layer. The gas molecules adsorbed in the first layer. Held by van der Waals forces. The gas molecules adsorbed in the first layers held by van der Waals forces. Next in the second layer, next in the third layer, and so on. Okay, like second postulate is what? The gas molecules adsorbed in the first layer held by the van der Waals forces. Next second layer held also by van der Waals, and next third also, and so on. Okay, this is about the second one. Now third postulate is nothing but the molecules of adsorbate after the formation of monomolecular layer may condense on the adsorbent. The molecules of adsorbate after formation of monomolecular layer, may condense on adsorbate. Okay. What the first point? Laminar treatment may applicable for unimolecular layer, but BET equation they have given about the multimolecular layer of formation or adsorption. Next, the gas molecules adsorbed in the first layer held by the van der Waals forces, or the weak van der Waals forces. Next about the second layer, next about third layer, because we are dealing over here multimolecular layer of adsorption. Next, molecule adsorbed after the formation of monomolecular layer, they may condense on the adsorbate itself. This is the third. Therefore, exists dynamic equilibrium between the two successive layers. The rate of evaporation from the first layer equal to the rate of condensation from the preceding layer. So fourth one, there is a dynamic equilibrium between two. Okay, rate of evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. Rate of evaporation of first layer or rate of evaporation of successive layer. Evaporation first layer equal to the preceding layer. Evaporation of first layer, rate of condensation of preceding layer. Okay, this is about the rate of evaporation of first layer is equal to rate of evaporation of preceding layer. This is the fourth postulate. Okay, now the next part, fifth postulate is nothing but condensation force are principal force of adsorption. Next postulates we are having Laminar treatment is applicable only for unimolecular layer. The gas molecule adsorbed in the in the BET equation, they held by the van der Waals forces, by weak van der Waals forces, by first layer, second layer, and so on. Next, molecules of adsorbent after the formation of monomolecular layer may condense over there. Isn't it? Next, equilibrium rate, that is rate of evaporation of the first layer, is equal to the rate of condensation of preceding layer. Next, fifth one, the condensation force which will be there. This is the main or principal force involved in this particular case in the BET equation. Sixth one, the heat of adsorption for each layer, that is the first layer, except the first layer, involved in the evaporation process. Means heat of adsorption of each layer involved in the evaporation process. Means heat of adsorption required for the evaporation itself. Then after the first layer, the amount of heat of adsorption must and should be equal to the amount of heat required for the liquefaction. 8.1 the derivation is based on the kinetic theory given by the Langmuir itself. This is about the postulates of VET equation itself. I will explain once again these all. The treatment is applicable only for the multi-molecular layer of adsorption instead of the molecular layer. The gas molecules held by the weak control forces for each layer, first layer, second layer, multi-layer. For third one, the molecules of adsorption after the formation of first layer make a nest of the adsorbent. After the formation of first layer, multi-layer will going to form over there. At a particular stage, dynamic equilibrium which will be reached where the rate of evaporation of the first layer equal to the rate of condensation of preceding layer or next layer itself. Next, condensation force or it is the force which is the main principal force for this particular process. The heat of adsorption of each layer except the first layer involved in the evaporation process, that is after the first layer the heat of adsorption must and should be equal to the heat of liquefaction, and the derivation is based on the kinetic theory given by the Langmuir itself. This is about the postulates of VET equation. Now let's see what is the exact VET equation. The following equation which is known after the names as VET. So see the equation, that is P upon V into P naught minus P is equal to 1 upon Vm into C plus C minus 1 Vm into C into P upon P naught. So which are the terms involved in this case? First, V volume of gas adsorbed at pressure P and temperature T. Vm volume of gas required to form monomolecular layer or mono layer on the solid adsorbent. P is nothing but equilibrium pressure of the gas. P naught saturated vapor pressure of gas at an experimental temperature. T means when you did the experiment, the saturated vapor pressure which will be there can be explained by P naught. C constant which is depending upon the nature of gas itself. This is about our VET equation. When they ask you for the exam, which is very important. Now let's see the next part, that is verification of VET equation. For the verification of VET equation, C is a constant for the gas. C is the constant for the gas, and Vm which will be there is nothing but Vm is also constant for a given gas solid system, also constant for given gas solid system, means when adsorbent which will be there, which is solid, and adsorbate which is there, that is gas molecule where Vm is a constant, then the equation simplifies down that. Then the equation is also in the form of what? Y is equal to mx plus c. For that we have to plot a graph in this way, where this particular slope, this is our log k. Okay, we have to simplify the equation. P upon V into P naught minus P is equal to 1 upon Vm into C, 1 upon Vm into C into, plus C minus 1 upon Vm into C into P upon P naught, and this particular equation is in the form of Y is equal to mx plus c. So let's see the terms which are present over there. The plot of P upon V into P naught minus P, that is particular mx. We have to simplify this mx. Okay, so this form of y. Okay, y is equal to mx plus c. We have to plot over here. So next, slope c minus 1 upon Vm into C. Okay, this is our plot. This we can consider our C. So now Mx, this is our Mx. So C, next 1 upon Vm into C is an intercept. 1 upon Vm into C is an intercept, and remaining P upon P naught. Okay, this is about the plot. From the slope and the intercept, the value of Vm and C can be calculated. From the slope and the intercept, the value of Vm upon C can be calculated. An example for this type of graph of adsorption, that is, example is nothing but adsorption of N2 on silica gel. We can do the example for this particular type of plot or graph over there. If you want to do experimentally adsorption of nitrogen on what, or sorry, adsorption of ammonia on what, silica gel itself. Okay, this is about the verification of BET equation. Next we see the limitations of BET equation. Okay, the next part, the limitations of BET equation. The BET equation which is there, which fails below a relative pressure. Equation fails below relative pressure, that is below the 0.05 pixel it is invalid, also above 0.35 as it is invalid. Next, assumption which indicates that sorbate has liquid properties. That sorbates which are having held by weak van der Waals forces, that is a liquid property. Second assumption which is there, which is incorrect in nature. Next, the coordination number of molecules in the higher layer, means one layer, multi-layer is going to form. The coordination number also adds in the criticism of BET equation. This is one of the limitation. It should not add, but coordination number also they have added over there. So based on this, BET equation needs the further modification over there. So first of all, BET equation, it fails below the pressure, some pressure value, and above also. That is below 0.05 it is invalid, and above 0.35 also it is invalid. Assumption, one of the assumption indicates that they are having some liquid properties which is incorrect in the nature. Third, coordination number of the molecules in the higher layer also adds the criticism of BET equation which is incorrect or invalid. So based on this all, this BET equation needs further modification. Here we have completed about the BET equation itself. Thank you. The next class we will deal determination of surface area of adsorbent. Thank you.